Stop squishing the bug. Pulverize it. This video is dedicated to those who do drive off the back leg or want to and are struggling with it. There are 3 mistakes that people make with the back leg, and most of the time they're not even mistakes. It's usually a part of the natural development because this takes 6 months to a year to get down. The reason it takes that long is not necessarily because of the complexity of the movement, even though it is a nuanced movement that we're going to talk about. It's because you're playing baseball left-handed. Backhand form at the highest level is a baseball swing that you run into. You have this point in time where you drive off the back leg, but because you have momentum, it eventually comes off the ground. That's one of the reasons people really struggle with this. But ultimately, it's because this is your non-dominant leg. At the heart of all this, you have to push off your back leg with weight. It's a specific technique, but ultimately you have to have weight on it. So mistake number 1 is squishing the bug. If you go to squish a bug, it's gonna look like that. Bugs are very fragile creatures, so they're very easy to squish without a whole lot of effort. People will keep the weight on the back leg, they'll get to this position, and then they'll just twist. They'll literally just spin their leg. Now, you're gonna get rotation, so that's good, but ultimately you're not gonna get any driving power. The second mistake that is made is pushing off the back leg without turning your leg, without having any rotation. It often looks like this. You get this really lungy throw, like that. The reality of this movement is it's nuanced. It's a combination of both. You don't squish the bug, you pulverize it into the center of the earth. You're pushing while driving the knee in. It looks like that. Side push, squish the bug, explosive drive. The easiest way to understand driving weight is to just drift and jump. X step, balance, drift, jump. Because your front foot never lands, you had to use the force of the ground to push your weight that way. It's really that simple. It's just physically hard. This is what squish the bug looks like. So right now I want you to draw a line in your mind from your knee to your foot. The weight's a little more on top of the leg when you see that. Right now he is just going to squish the bug and just completely rotate right away. That is squish the bug. Right now I'm in the same position. My knee is over my foot. You could draw a straight line here. So what I'm gonna do, much like a pitcher, is I'm gonna let this momentum and weight in my leg go past my foot before I do any kind of pushing. I mean, I'm sort of guiding, pushing my leg past a little bit, but there isn't any turning. So now this is where the line was. Keep in mind that I'm balancing and drifting. So that move from here to here actually is going kind of slow. So I get past that leg. Now I have leverage, and now I'm going to drive that knee down, pushing off the ground. That's why my shoes crinkled up, because I'm pushing against the ground force. Getting to that position, the L shape. You get on the back leg, but you have to drift past before you drive. That's why it's a balance and drift. Now we're looking at Ganon Burr. Just want you to focus on that back leg, driving down over and over again. Just the back leg, turning into a nice L shape. Here's my intro throw, back leg, drive down. L shape. Oh, this rabbit hole is getting crazy. We're heading down the rabbit hole. Drive down. Drive down. This rabbit hole can go on for a long time right here. I'm burning this into your mind because this is what you want to see in your own form. And I'm not talking about the upper body right now. But when we get to the power pocket, as some people call it, you want to see somewhat of an L shape at that point in time. You don't have to twist like crazy, but you need to drive it down, because this is a fundamental It's just a basic fundamental. Possibly the best back leg in disc golf. Boom. Guess what? That leg doesn't do that on its own. It's not a counterweight. So how do you go about learning this? Well, one, you can take my Slingshot training program, which teaches you step by step with a series of drills. This isn't something that can just be learned in a split second. I have literally 29 drills that you do without a disc in your hand because you have to develop this movement. You have to understand how to come into this foot with having weight here, but not having all your weight there, not having all your weight there. This is why it's so rare to see people online actually doing this outside of professional disc golfers, because it is a nuanced, specific movement. It's not easy to do. Here's the truth about pro form and pro power. You can't look like a pro without doing it this way. You know, when it comes to the left arm, the right arm, there is no pro form because we see so many of these guys doing it differently. The one thing that they all have in common is these very specific lower body positions. If you're not in these positions, then you have no idea what it feels like. You have to know what it feels like. And if you don't know what it feels like, you're never gonna pass that eye test. You're not gonna pass the eye test in fast motion or slow motion. You cannot avoid the work. The work is driving with the back leg. The fundamentals of backhand form are the loaded position, the magic position, where the knees are bent in, the style position, where if you drive with weight on the back leg, you're gonna look like that.
Uh-oh. Flex.
Jeez. Oh, wow. Did it go over?
Yeah.